Hello, my name is Fenna. Welcome to Following Fenna. I am a certified coach and counselor, and I work with people in a limerent episode and also with their partners. Now, having dealt with limerence, talking to limerent clients, and diving deep in the state of limerence, this all has given me some insight over the last few years. And today I'm going to share my insights with you in 20 things that I have learned about limerence, to smack some reality in your distorted thinking, with love, of course. Jumping right in, number 1. Limerence is a sign/result of incompatibility, not the other way around. Number 2, no, you can't cure limerence while you stay in full contact. In fact, in limerence we show the exact same behavior cycle as in any other addiction. Number 3, our nervous system thinks that LO is our partner, which they're not, by the way. That's why we need so much closeness from them. Number 4, your LO probably has some attachment wounds. Number 5, your attachment style can be fluid. It means that it can depend on the interaction with the other. It can depend on how you are relating and how much safety the other is giving you. Number 6, no, limerence is not temporary as long as you keep it active. It will not fade after 3 years if you stay in the limerent dynamic. When you would form a secure, defined relationship, whatever that means for you, with LO, then it will fade within a few months and approximately 3 years. Number 6. Poor decision making and not foreseeing the long-term consequences is part of addictive behavior and therefore should not be done. That's not very smart. Don't take radical decisions while you are in a limerent episode. We should not divorce or move or leave important people for an LO, meaning the other person, limerent object. Number 7, you cannot really tell your active lizard brain that you are just friends and it needs to calm down. There are different brain areas active and you can't reason with a freaked out nervous system that is telling you left and right that this bond feels unsafe. This is not fulfilling your needs. Number 8, you can and you should ask clarity from your LO when things are fake. Maybe we don't want situationships and we're too good for fakeness. Asking clarity is a really normal, adulty thing. Number 9. Limerence shows us that we want to be loved and we want to give love, which is normal. It's a normal human need. We don't have to apologize for that. We just kind of picked the wrong person and tried to have this with them. Number 10. No, you don't need to love yourself first and love yourself enough and work on your self-esteem first in order to cut ties with LO. You can do that anyway. I'm not saying it's easy, but you can do that anyway. Number 11. Limerence is not the same as codependency disorder, OCD, bipolar disorder, or borderline personality disorder, and therefore it should not be treated as such. Maybe you have both, and limerence and one of the first stated diagnosis. But if you did not have the symptoms before the limerence, you will not have them after. Number 12. We need to go through the withdrawal and through the grief cycle in order to regulate our hormones again. Number 13, and I'm shouting this one. Limerence will never go back to how great it felt in the beginning. Never. Number 14. The two main ingredients of limerence are hope and obstacles. And did I mention already that having an LO means there is incompatibility? I'm sure that was the first one I mentioned, but I cannot state this enough. Number 15. After you are out of the limerent fog, the urgency to stay friends with your LO no matter what, and you can't live without them, will be less and less. Of course, you don't have to have them in your life. Number 16, define what it is, what you want. What kind of relationship do you want? It's so important. We get vulnerable when we kind of go with the flow. We meet somebody and then we figure out what we want. State what you want first. Number 17, keep people in boxes. A therapist is a therapist and not a therapist / flirting person / friend. A friend is a platonic friend and not a half platonic kind of romantic friend. A dating partner is a dating partner, and with dating partners we can flirt and see if there is enough to form a couple. We flirt with dating partners, not with anyone else. Number 18. When we go no contact, our life feels grey, meaningless, and boring. That is temporary. Doesn't mean your life will stay like that. It's temporary. Number 19. Strong feelings are absolutely not proof that this should be continued and this is healthy and you should seek this for years. And number 20, we did not choose to enter a limerent episode, and I hope you approach yourself with a lot of self-compassion. I'm sure we made mistakes, but we can learn from that, and we didn't wake up thinking, I'm gonna get myself addicted. You probably didn't even know what limerence was. These were 20 insights. I can do 2,000 more, and if you want to see more, please, these short little insights, please put them in the comments. And for now, I have a letter. Like I said, I have a letter, and I'm sorry if you see my ring light. I'm super vain. I have a letter of somebody, and this person also shows some signs of what I was just talking about in my 20 signs, not signs really, but insights of limerence. And I'm gonna give my comment while I read the letter. Dear Fenna, I am 43 and my wife is 46. We have been married for 20 years and we have a 17-year-old son. We have it all. Nice car, nice house. We have a great life. About 4 years ago, I got a new co-worker. She was married and she had 2 girls, similar in the age of my son. She was attractive, but I would never say that to her. She and her husband went through a divorce, and I guess that's where my limerence started. First, I was thinking this was just a crush. I like daydreaming and I thought it would just disappear. But then my mom passed away, who was a single mom raising me and my brother, who did not intentionally cause emotional childhood trauma, but she gave a lot of love to our sister and was chasing a new husband every couple of years throughout my childhood. My dad was a functioning alcoholic as well. So my LO was also a single mom raising 2 kids, just like my mom had been. If we go through grief, if there's grief, also a few years prior to the limerent episode, the starting of a limerent episode, grief or a life event, it kind of opens up unconsciously, of course, unconsciously, of course, for limerence. Long story short, coming up to the 1 year mark of my mom's death, I found out my LO was seeing a different coworker. She says it's nothing serious, but it felt like a dagger to my heart. That's because she's in the wrong file. Like I stated, your nervous system thinks that LO is our partner, and that's why we need a lot of, we call that emotional resonance. We need a lot of closeness. We get upset. We even get angry sometimes when our LO, who's not our partner at all, is starting to date somebody else. We kind of feel entitled to them because our nervous system thinks that this is our partner. I stopped eating. I have lost 30 pounds. I told my wife I had a schoolboy crush. I had a sort of heart-to-heart with my LO about all of this, and she told me she values a friendship, and I thought it was supposed to cure me. No, friendship doesn't cure you. It just confuses you and it prolongs your limerence. And I'm sorry for all you people who really have nice LOs in your life. And maybe LO was even your friend before the limerence episode started. But it's really difficult. Of course, everyone is free to do what they want, but you can't really stay friends and, simultaneously not be in a limerence episode anymore. You can't. I am thinking and daydreaming even more. An addict in relapse? Does my LO need to slap me and tell me to ... off? I'm not allowed to swear, unfortunately. Well, your LO slapping you and telling you to, F off, it's a little bit harsh or radical. You can also decide that this has been enough. We don't have to wait. Of course, rejection helps. Confusion doesn't. That's for sure. But she's not saying I want to be with you. She's not saying please divorce your wife and we can be, together. She's not saying that. So she's not that confusing. But of course, rejection can help. But in any case, you have to decide that you don't want this anymore. My wife and I are seeing couple therapists and whatnot, but I hope I have not done so much harm to my marriage. I know I have placed my mom into LO, and if only I could get my LO to reciprocate, I always trip over this word, then I would be worthy of my mom's love, my toxic shame and insecurities, and my feeling of unworthiness. She's also active and does all these fun things with her kids that my mom never did this with my brother. I guess, lastly, the ego punch of asking myself, why doesn't she show interest in me, really, really hurt. I don't expect women to fall for me, but I have a lot going for me. I guess it's still me playing out. If only I make this much, I will be worthy of love. Or if only my wife has a car, then she would know how good I am and I will be worthy of love. No. Of course, there are people, a lot of limerent people who are dealing with low self-esteem. But limerent, being in limerent, for sure makes you feel rejected and unworthy. Even if, the fact that she's not showing interest in you is completely logical, since you're married and you're co-workers, and she's, she has other things on her mind. She's going through a divorce. It has nothing to do with your worthiness. Nothing. But being in limerence makes us think that we're not good enough for LO. That's what limerence does. It has nothing to do with you. Of course, she's not showing you romantic interest, as she should not, by the way. The no contact is out as she is a partner in my business. I know limerence can make rational people do stupid things, and I haven't done anything stupid yet. I'm at my wit's end and I cannot work like this for 16 more years. Well, I'm glad we have an appointment, dear anonymous writer, because we can make a plan. I know this is difficult. I know this is difficult, but you would have to decide what it is, what you want. And I always say, don't make radical decisions, but limerence can be a sign that something is off. Maybe you weren't for a longer period of time happy in your marriage. And I'm not saying you should divorce because now you have an allow. You should first get out of the limerent episode and then decide what needs to change. And maybe that's your marriage, maybe that is something else. But if you were happy with your wife before the limerence began, you will probably be happy after. So like I said before, don't make radical decisions. And I'm so sorry this happened to you. And I talk to a lot of people who are at their wits' end because they cannot really escape from their allow because this is a co-worker. Try to avoid them as much as possible. If you want to disclose. Sometimes you can't, or that would be completely weird, then don't. But you have to make a decision that this has been enough and avoid them as much as possible. If you want my help in one-on-one coaching, please send me an email. The email address is in the description below. And for now, I want to thank you for watching me, and I hope to see you in another video. Bye.